Hello everyone, it's me, Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. You guys, it has been so hot lately. I try to come out in the garden either early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Well, it is 6 o'clock, okay? So I'm out here in the garden. It's still a little warm, but pretty soon the temperatures will drop, okay? So I decided to go ahead and get a head start because what I want to do is start working on my garden beds. Start working on removing, I have so many weeds. I don't know how that many weeds can grow in a raised garden bed, but it happens. So sometimes some of my beds get really overgrown with weeds. So I have to pull weeds. Come, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm starting right here on this raised bed right here at the corner. So come with me. Look. Look, one thing I didn't quite want this to happen. This is my mint. I want to say I can't remember. I know it's some type of, I'm sorry, this is thyme. Now I remember, this is thyme. I also had peppermint in this area, but I got rid of the peppermint a long time ago. So this is thyme. And I was trying to pull some of these little miscellaneous little weeds out of there and ended up uprooting the entire thing. But I would like to keep this. I'm gonna place it in another planter. So I'm gonna move this because I don't want to lose it. So I'm gonna cut the camera off real quick and I'm gonna move this and place it in something to keep it alive, okay? Okay, I found this, one of these, I like whiskey barrels, right? This is a little half whiskey barrel planter. I think I got it from one of the dollar stores. But I like them. I like the look of it. I like the look of a whiskey barrel. You notice a theme going on in my garden. I have a lot of whiskey barrels, planters. I like the look of it. Being that I'm a southern girl, gardening here in the southeast Louisiana, I just like a nice little country look. Like I said, I accidentally uprooted this. It could have stayed right there in that raised bed, but I pulled it up by accident, okay? So what I'm doing, that's what I had started telling you, I'm clearing out the raised beds. I'm just getting them ready for when it's time to plant out for fall, right? So, and we're gonna go back over there. I just wanted to take care of this first because I did not want it to die. So we got some fresh potting soil. Got some good potting soil too. Some Miracle-Gro potting soil. So, and I'm gonna water it in since it's now in a new home. Okay, so I'm gonna find a little corner in the garden to place this. It's kind of heavy. Let's see. That'll do for now. So, okay, let's move back over to this raised bed so I can show you what I'm doing. All right. So, basically I started by pulling up the weeds. And now I'm gonna skim off this top layer of it's just leftover, like dried leaves, things like that. And there's some mulch here too. I kind of want to start with a clean slate. That's how I like to do it. So I have my little sifter here, and I'm just gonna start scraping up this top layer like this. I'm gonna reuse the mulch, right? And some of those leaves and things like that, that's good organic material, so I can keep that too. But I just want to get rid of this top layer. I'm not even digging too deep. let you come a little closer. There was a lot of grass in here, but I pulled it up. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me share this with my viewers. So, you see here, look, I have my old tags here. So in this area, looks like I was growing some butter crunch lettuce. That was months ago though. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just like to loosen up the soil a little bit and add more compost, more organic material, organic matter. Like the compost I use is a composted cow manure. So I'm going to add that, sprinkle that on the top. And in these spots where there's soil missing, I'm going to add some fresh soil. I tell you what, if I only get to one bed today, that is perfectly fine. Because you know my saying, if you can't do a lot, at least do a little. Get something done, you know? Okay. I try to make it easier on my back, so I'm gonna get as close as I can. There we go. It hasn't rained, so these bags they're not soaking wet, because when they're wet, oh my goodness, they're so heavy. So this is a potting soil, all-purpose potting soil. Okay, so I just want to fill in that spot over there where there was an area, I guess, where I uprooted something and it took a lot of the soil with it, so I needed to fill in that spot. Look, just for kicks, I'm going to add a little perlite for aeration and just to make the soil nice and light. Not much, because think about it, over time I've been adding perlite so often. I can see the little white specks still in the soil there. A little perlite. Okay, that should be good. It's just enough, huh? And now I'm going to use my slow release fertilizer. I'm going to use this Gardener Special. See that? It's a 1511. Okay. Just an all-purpose slow release fertilizer. Move this out of the way so I don't want to trip. Okay. There's something about when I do this, I call it making my bed. I call it making my bed, right? Making my garden bed. You know, just like how you make your bed in your house. So it's like It's refreshing because you're starting over with a clean slate. I'm super sweaty, you guys. But I'm sweaty, but honestly, there's cloud coverage. There's cloud coverage, so it's not that hot, but I'm gonna sweat anyway. And it's keeping me cool. But there's cloud coverage and a slight breeze. So it's pretty good. See, I couldn't have done this earlier today. It was like almost 90 something degrees. 99 degrees. It registered about 99 degrees, maybe 100. No joke. So, yeah, there was no way I could get out and do anything earlier today. And yesterday, I had lots of cloud coverage. It was so nice out early that morning that I came out here with my little push mower, and I kind of cleaned up in this area over here and also did some weed eating. I did it real quick before that sun poked its head from behind those clouds. Look at that. Isn't it nice? Look how nice my bed is made. My bed is made. Now, I'll tell you this. Okay? Now, look, remember everybody, I told you I was sweaty, so you were warned. Okay. Now I'm going to have to take a shower once I go inside. Look. Right now, I feel like it's at a stage where I'm ready to plant out. I have fresh soil. I've kind of cultivated it a little bit, kind of broke up the soil a little. I've added that organic material, the composted cow manure. I added a little perlite for drainage, for aeration, make the soil light, airy. I added a slow release fertilizer, a good slow release fertilizer. That's by Fertilome, Gardener Special. You've seen me use it before. Of course it has the NPK, but it has lots of really good micronutrients also that is needed for healthy plant growth. So we ready. We good, y'all. We good. All right, so it can stay just like this until I am ready to plant something out. If I wanted to, I don't think I'm ready yet, but if I wanted to start planting a few things out, I most definitely would have to use this shade cloth, because the only reason those cucumbers over there are still alive and healthy, and they're covered with blooms, blossoms. So that means it's loaded with potential cucumbers, right? The only reason it's still alive is because of that 50% shade cloth. Let's go examine it. Let's come over here and take a look. Okay. Look, you guys. This is my shade cloth. I have tons of it. I have a whole chest full of shade cloth in different percentages. Like, for instance, this is 50% shade cloth. I think I have 30 and 40, and I have a ton of 50% because it went on clearance a couple of years ago. And I just bought them out because normally this shade cloth, I get it from Lowe's, and the brand name is Coolaroo. Look, I'm not promoting anything. I don't, I'm just telling you what I have. Okay, so I'm not promoting anything. But it's Coolaroo shade cloth, and normally that 50% shade cloth, a roll of it may have been like $29, $24, something like that. But I got it on clearance for like $5.75 a roll. So I just took every roll that I saw, And as hot as it's been lately, 50% is perfect. Because normally you would go like maybe with a 30 or a 40, The percentage is the percentage of UV rays that it blocks. So With the 50%, it is blocking 50% of the UV rays, which has saved these cucumber vines. Let's go take a look. Let me show you how pretty they are. Do you see that? Do you see how nice they look? Let me get a little closer so you can really see. Look how nice and healthy they are. Because it is protected by the shade cloth. Okay? All right. Let's back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more stakes and take the rest of this shade cloth and cover up the rest of the bed. Might as well do it now. Even though there's nothing planted on this side yet, I'm going to go ahead while I have the time, look, while I have the energy and the notion to do it, because once I stop, I'm not going to feel like coming back out here. So when I have the energy to do something and I feel like doing it, I just power through. So I'm just going to add 2 more stakes and have the rest of the shade cloth up like this. And then I'll probably have to add a little piece over on this side because these beds are kind of, you know, an unusual shape. They're L-shaped. So that's going to cover that. I might get creative. If I take this stake and kind of move it closer, then maybe I can angle the shade cloth like that. That's an idea. I might do that. I'm gonna see how that works. But let me show you the other raised bed I'm gonna work on, okay? All right, everyone. Now, remember in this raised bed, this is where I had some super sweet 100s right here, tomatoes. Right here I had a Better Boy, and over here I had a Lemon Boy. So now this entire raised bed, this is where I'll put my cabbage, my broccoli over in this raised bed, just like I did last season. So over here, I just removed this stake. There's a wooden stake I want to get to, it's right here. I doubt if I can get to it now. Let's see. I'm going to try. I drove it deep down in. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. Got it. See, it was broken. It was a wooden stake that was broken. I got it. You know why? Because this raised bed, the soil is so dry. That's why it easily came out. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of this. And I'm just going to start with a clean slate. I know you're saying, Natalie, there's marigolds in there. I don't care. They got to go because I need room. I need room for my cabbage and my broccoli. This is where I'm going to grow my brassicas. I'm going to grow my cabbage and my broccoli in here. So I'm going to clean this out. Okay? All right, you guys. Let me get to work. Remember that layer of mulch, that top layer that I took off of that L-shaped raised bed? I want to show you what I do with it. Because it can be reused, right? So I'm going to sift it. You see that? I'm going to sift it. And then see, all that can be reused. All that can be reused. So I just collect that in this little tote over here after I sift it real good. Okay? And I'm going to reuse that. So I'm going to do the same here. Going to remove that top layer. I got to be careful because I feel like I had a lot of ants over here. I'm going to bring my garbage can over here also because I need to pull up the weeds and these dying marigolds. And there we have it. We're done.